Right, so if you watched my last video, you will have got, if you're crafting along with me, you will have got to here. You may be past me and have finished by now, but we've got this far and I love it. It's amazing, it's cute. This took us a long time. If you've got this far, you are amazing. Be very proud of yourself. So what's next? Okay, so let's put this back here and hope that if my kitty joins us, she doesn't start chewing. She actually really likes chewing on the lamp lines. So that is why I check the lamp lines before I do everything or anything in the next step, because she loves chewing on the lamp lines. I don't know why. So the next step, we are here, page 17. We're going to do this step here. And it says, step 14, stick the housing. Okay. So we need A2, which is this little dude. And it says we need D85. Oh, hello. This way, hang on a minute. I had it a minute ago. There we go. D85. So we're going to cut this out. Then we're going to stick this onto this. Make sure we do it. Both sides are the same, so we'll just get the nicest side. And then we're going to stick this onto the front of the book nook. Okay, stay with me. So that's all dry. Now we're going to stick the front piece onto the front of the book nook, and this is where we see if our book nook's perfectly square, because everything should match up beautifully now. So I'm going to show you this way, and then I'm going to have to put it up the other way for me to actually see what I'm doing. So I'm offering it up, it all looks beautiful, and then I'm going to put these wires, we're going to put these wires through the front, it says, once we've done. So let me turn the book nook round, make sure all my wires are to the front, because I really need to see what I'm doing now. Really need to see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to get them out of the way. I was going to put them through afterwards, but actually, if you're going to do it this way, if you can do it the other way, you're fine. If you can do it this way, you actually need to push them through. So everything looks fine, it looks square. I'm going to want that like that. Okay, let's get gluing. done now. That's all nicely in place. All nice and square. Looks lovely. Now we have to stick. We've got to cut out and stick these side pieces, all the back and side covers, and it just says stick the back cover, note where to stick them. So there's specific places which we'll have a look to make sure we get them all in the right place. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so we're looking super cute now. I'm loving it. It's crisp, it's neat, it's lovely. I paid really close attention and made sure that this line and this line were spot on and then pushed outwards. I used the tissue to push out all the lumps, and as it has dried it has sucked in the paper and I've got no lumps on there now. It's really pretty. Same with that side. In their instructions, when we came round to the second side, they said to go from the back to the front. I didn't do that. I did the same again. I went from the front to the back, because if there's any misalignment, I want that to be at the back. The front needs to be the best bit. But the top, everything now is beautiful. It looks stunning. So I'm really, really happy now. Now we are on the bottom of, we're on page, not the bottom, we're on page 19 now, and it says fabrication of the top layer. So how exciting is that? We are now starting the top layer. So I'm going to get all the bits and pieces we need ready, and we're going to start off with that. Back in a minute. the dreaded top piece. I remember this being a nightmare the last time. So, don't assume your piece, we need, can you see it on camera? This piece of Perspex. It says this is D11. It should be 15.1 by 14. Don't assume this is the right size, because mine is not. Mine is 14.3 the one side. Let me check, that's 14.3 on the other side too. By 15.4 on the other. So I'm going to cut mine down to be exactly, because you really, really need this to be exactly. And even when it's exactly, it really is tricky. So I'll explain to you what I'm going to do, and then, so we want the 15.1 to go widthways. Then we are going to take it across. Now they want us to glue it so that it goes on the inside this lip. So it has to go on the inside of this lip, and it has to go on the inside of this little piece here, not the top, which would have been a lot easier, on the inside. And now I want to use my stronger glue, but I don't want loads of globs of stuff. So I'm going to have to be really, really careful. So what I might do is a combination of the glues. And then we have to get this little piece here, and this has to go over the top. So I'm just going to put that film down. And the film has to come under here. And then we need to glue this about here. And then we need these to be perfectly aligned. It isn't going to be easy. It is going to be tricky. So first off, I'm going to cut my film to be absolutely perfect. So bear with me and I'll get the right angle. Okay, I've cut my film. So it now fits lovely in here and fits beautifully on the inside rim of this going round. It isn't going to be easy. But this, when you put it over the top, still is a little bit, doesn't fit perfectly. So I don't think we're going to get, and if you put that up against that, that is actually smaller. It's actually a little bit smaller than those end pieces. So I don't know quite why that's a little bit lower, because how's that supposed to work? Anyway, this is going to have to sit. I'd prefer this not to be 100%, because this actually should be a little bit taller if you want it to go over the top or something. But I would prefer this. See how much, a little bit shorter that is. I'd prefer this to be a little bit standing proud, a little bit, than the acetate not to fit properly under here. I'm not going to talk through this bit, because I can tell I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to do my best. It's going to probably take both glues so that I can lather this on where it's not going to be seen, and put little blobs of this, hopefully where it's not going to be seen. I do not want that everywhere where it's going to have lots of stringy bits. So I'm probably going to use that across the bottom in sort of spots, and then put a band of that where it's going to dry clear. Okay, here goes. Okay, there is no way in the world we have enough hands to hold this while it is drying. So, I'd like to share with you a little tip that I have just made work. A little, well, pink tack. Tiny little blobs of pink tack. Don't stick it really hard, but in the places where I've put little tacks of my glue, I have put a little blob of pink tack to hold it in place while it dries, because I just don't have enough fingers. And it's working. It's stayed there while it dries, and then I'm going to attack this piece here. So, yep, it's working for now. Okay, well, that was tricky. That did take some time, but the pink tack worked great. And you can, if you look closely, you can see the glue marks in some places, but doing it in little areas rather than in big areas is definitely the way to go. Using the two glues did help, so I did sort of tack marks with the stringy glue, and then I ran a bead of the PVA, the Mod Podge glue, along the two bottom edges. If I'd have done it all and sort of ran all the way along both sides and down the bottom with the sticky glue, I would have been in a big mess, and I would have had stringy bits all over the place. So if you can do it with minimal tacks and using the pink tack, I would suggest. Yeah, so take it steady, piece by piece. This still isn't, we've got a little gap both sides, but it's okay, it's all right. If you look really carefully, you can see there's a little gap, a couple of mil either side, but it's okay. It's enough that, you know, I'm happy with it. So we'll move on to the next bit. We are now on page 20. We are now down here. We are going to start the assembly of the little box where our light, and we're going to do our assembly of the lights here. So we're going to see if we can fathom out the lighting and get all the lights working. So let's get going. Okay, so it's not the neatest, but that is so fiddly. I use my tweezers in the end to sort of pull the paper round because the fingers are just too big. And these two keep sort of popping up. What's next? Yeah, we're getting the other wires and we're connecting everything together. So let's get on with that. Okay, the bit that most of us are dreading, the circuits. So it's that great description. Wind and connect the grey line of the circuit board with the string lamp grey copper wire and the white line of the circuit board with the string lamp white line. Wrap up the copper wire joint with the gummed paper. So, and I've got sticky bits of paper all over me from doing that. Okay, so we have our sticky paper, we have our grey wire and our white wire. So we basically will have to clean up all the underneath after, but basically we want all to have our grey wires over here. Now these under here are a little bit little, these ones, so we're going to have to work within our arms down here. But basically we're going to have our grey wires over here and our white wires over here. And they're all very much different lengths, which is where we're going to get a little bit tricky. But okay, we're going to do it. We want to take off all our little ends. We've got some little protective ends in it. Our wires do get a little bit messy underneath, so we're going to clean that up after, because nobody's going to see the underneath. So we're going to be really neat. Ha, she says, we're going to try. And we're going to get all our little ends. Okay. And I'm covered in glue now, so my fingers are sticky. My nail varnish is coming off. We're glued. Okay. All our copper ends. I hope you can see. I can't zoom in. Oh, hang on. Let's see if I can zoom in on just this little bit. We won't be able to see the rest of what I'm doing, but this little bit for now. Okay, can you see that better? I was trying to get everything in focus, but it's just not going to work. Okay, so we've got all of our grey ends and all of our coppers. We're trying to get them all sort of in the same kind of vicinity. Okay, and we're going to twist. Being gentle. These are only little teenies. Okay. Being gentle, don't be rough. So we are now essentially have one. Now, for the sake of, see, I'm going to lean over myself. I'm going to use some of my sticky tape. And I'm going to sticky tape these together, just over like that. Okay. See, now these won't try and leap away from me now. Okay. Now I want to knot together like this. I want to connect because we want a nice seamless. Now this is where I want to connect these now together with each other. So that's probably a little bit long, so I'm probably going to shorten that one a little bit. Okay. Right, now I want this. I want these to connect. Now, twisting this won't really do anything unless I try and twist this one around that one. Will that work? What I'm trying to do is, because this is so fine, this one, I want this to stay in place just a second while I get the gum Stay there. Just stay there. Okay, and then we want a nice piece of gum paper, basically sticky paper. I'm going to have a big enough piece to cover that joint. No, I'm not the fastest at getting this out. Oh, it came off. Look at that. It came off very straight away. Okay, I've just been and fetched a piece of my husband's electrical tape. And hopefully this should be a lot better. But I'm all sticky now, so but I'm hoping this should be a lot better. But my finger's all sticky and this is all, but I can pull this tight and it will wrap around and work. Yeah, see, that's working a lot better. I can pull this tight and go around. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do the others like this, even though it's not perfect. My husband would laugh at me. He's really good at this. Well, he's actually a technician, so he should be good at this. Right, but that's not coming up. See, the other one was sliding. That's not coming apart. And we can test it, but that's not coming apart. So I'm going to do the same with the other joints, and then we'll see. Okay, so we're all connected. I've turned my lights down and I'm hoping if I've connected everything properly, they're going to light up. I've turned 3 lights off, so I've got 1 on. So if I have connected everything properly and the wires have all survived my connections, we're going to have the Book Nook lights come on. Are we ready? I hope they work, actually. 1, 2. Yay! Oh, so pretty. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got to carry on now and do this front bit and make everything look sweet. Okay, so now it wants us to glue this little thing, this little front, onto the front of our little box. Now my little box was a little bit snug. It didn't slide in properly. So what I did was I just got a nail file and I just filed down the sides a little bit either side and made it a little bit more slimmer. It just needed a little bit either side. So this is I don't want to just stick this on here because it's going to really bug me unless this is in the middle. So what I'm thinking is if I assemble this, we're going to have to tidy up these wires after. what if I put, now this goes in like this, and then these little, this is why this little back panel is lower than the sides, and then this little wire, this little button goes in this side. It's a little bit fiddly, but this little, you'll glue this in place, but I'll glue it in after, so I can take the drawer in and out. But basically what I want to do is, and it's going to be a little bit, but I really need it to be in the centre. I'm a little bit OCD. Right, so I want that drawer, so I want that to sit like that. Okay, so we've got all these wires going everywhere underneath now. So they've said use the gum paper. Well, it's not the stickiest, to be honest. So I'm just going to use my regular sticky tape, and I'm going to make it nice and neat. I'm not going to pull too tight on this bit here, because if I need to change the batteries, I need to pull this out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave those two a little bit looser. Oh yeah, it's moving, don't move. So basically what we want to do is we want to stop the wires being pulled and stop the wires being damaged from underneath. So we're just taping them out of the way. So basically we're just stopping the wires being damaged, because we're going to be putting a bottom on here in a minute, and we don't want the wires in the way when we're putting the bottom on, because you're going to be moving, you're going to be gluing and moving parts around in a second. But what I want to check is that if I want to open the drawer, I can still open the drawer and change the batteries. So I'm going to make sure that this is loose enough for me to open and close the drawer, and then we're good to go. Okay, so we've now got this piece here. It's called A5, and it says, after we've arranged the electric wires underneath, which I've taped, it says apply glue to A5 wood 4 corners and then stick the wood. The whole position, this is this here, is to force apart the wood so as to arrange the electric wire later. So I interpret that as they've left us a little holey underneath, so that if we ever need to get to the wires, if there's ever a problem or anything like that where we need to access the wires, they've left us that hole so that we can prise open the bottom of the book nook. Now, I have left the wires so that I can open and close the drawer and replace the batteries. So I don't want to use my strong glue, because if I use my strong glue, pulling apart the wood after would pretty much break the bottom of the wood. So I don't really want to be messing with that. So I think I'm going to try and tape the underneath. Now, for now I'm going to use my normal sticky tape. But after that, I may well find some stronger tape that I can just cut when I want to get to it. So that's what I'm going to do. You can get like paper tape and stuff like that. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do but I'll just sellotape it for the moment. I'm going to really try and be very neat and because it's quite difficult to push hard against it because it's got the void underneath. Okay, guys, we have finally finished. Can you believe it? I am so excited. This is the final part. If you have followed this with me, if you have crafted along with me, you should be very, very proud. I am very proud of you. I cannot believe that we have done it. It has been a long, long road. It has taken us what seems forever. I'm sorry about all the reflections, but if I turn off my lights, you won't see a thing. It has been amazing. I am so proud of you guys. There we go. I'm so proud of you guys. And I'm so pleased all the people who have crafted along with me. Let's turn this one off so we can see some pretty lights. I've had so many people say so many sweet things about, let's have a look at the one up there, look. About how I've helped them, about how it's been really nice to craft along with me, about step by step and everything like that. And I'm super happy I was able to help you. And it has been so much fun doing this together. So I am super, super pleased to get this far with you. And I'll be doing some more. We'll be doing some more book nooks and some more little miniature houses. I found a little miniature tin. I've never done one of those little tiny miniature tins. They're even smaller than this. So that's going to be... We've had some fun with this one. Wait till you see how small that one is. So yeah, if you'd like to watch along with that one, I'd be super grateful. It's always lovely to do things together. So I am super pleased we've got this done, and I'm super proud of all of you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and if you have enjoyed this series, give this video a like, and I'll know that you have enjoyed it. And then we'll do some more. It's been super cute. And yes, if you've got any questions, I will try and answer them. I'm not an expert. I just started this series because I had lots of questions, and I decided to do this so that you could follow along with me. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.